Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for checking out this first episode of the new Going Deeper. I'm your host, Matt, and I've got a great show planned for you tonight. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. Look, my first guest needs literally no introduction unless you haven't had the internet in like 6 years, I would say. But I'll give her one anyway. You'll know her from her appearances on all of the Vixen sites, which makes sense as she was recently crowned a Vixen Angel. I'm going to have links to everything she does in the episode description if it allows me to put that many things in there, because this girl is just everywhere. Everywhere. Okay? I'm going to put links to her social media. I'm going to put links to her podcast. I'm even going to put links to her Fleshlight. Okay? I want to make sure, most importantly, though, you check out OnlyFans at Violet Myers. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming to the show the voluptuous Violet Myers. Violet, how are you tonight?
Oh, that's a very beautiful intro. I'm great. Thank you. How are you doing?
Not bad. Not bad at all. I'm very honored to have you here. I first contacted your PR agent years ago, and she gave us a chance. She really did, and I hope we didn't let her down ever. But
Mm.
I said, I'd love to get Violet Myers on. And this was when we had, you know, not a ton of listeners. And she goes, hey, we'll work up to Violet Myers, okay? Because she recognized I wasn't ready to have you on at the time.
Okay.
And I actually appreciate that. I would have fucked it up real bad back then.
Oh
Uh,
no.
Violet, if you could please, I know it's the most boring question and asked a million times, but if you could give us a brief, how did you come into the adult entertainment industry, whatever form it was, whether it was camming, dancing, or just straight to videos?
Um, how I got started or introduced was webcamming. Like anything to do with like adult content was always through webcamming. I used to cam on a very popular cam site. But I was like kind of in a way a little bit naive because I didn't know anything about webcamming. I just got introduced to it by a guy that I was like dating at the time, and he wanted to do like couples cam. And then like we were making pretty good money because we were both like college students, and it was helping us like with our books and like snacks and stuff. And then we broke up, and then I was like I want to still keep making this money, so I ended up just doing it by myself. And then like a month later of doing it individually, that's when like I got introduced a little bit into doing like, the mainstream content because I wanted my room to grow and gain more followers and fans on my website, on my room.
Hmm.
So I ended up doing like a month in Florida, and then I stayed there, and then I've been doing this since 2018.
Very nice. So when did it turn for, it sounds like early on with the webcamming, you were like, I really enjoy making this money. And the money's never a bad thing, obviously.
No.
But when you finally got exposed to like filming and working with people and whatever else, did that like open up a new thing for you where you're like, the money's good, the money's great, the money's very important, we all fucking work for it. But was there a thing for you where you're like, oh shit, this is a lot of fun too? Like, I really like this shit too.
Yeah, I think it was like my first scene. Like I did like a solo, and I was like, this isn't bad. Like I'm in a mansion. I have a makeup artist on set. It's not like what people think it is, like a sketchy hotel, and there's like a weird creepy guy recording you.
Hmm.
It was nothing like that. It was very professional. And I was like, wow, like this is fun. I feel like besides like obviously, doing like the adult side of it, like the
Hmm.
porn. I felt like this feels like a movie set. It didn't feel like if I was like gonna film like an adult video, if that makes sense.
No, totally. Yeah, absolutely.
So I had so much fun with it, and I was like, wow, I just made like my I don't even think I made that much in a month when I used to work for minimum wage, but I was like, wow, I'm making like this amount of money in just like one day. I was like, wow, like and at that time, it was when I really think about it, I wasn't really getting paid that much.
Mhm.
But still like I was like shocked at the amount of money I was making so fast. But it wasn't even like me trying to get into it, trying to make do it for money. I was just kind of like, let's see where it takes me.
When I was working in an office years ago and I went from making 35,000 to 70,000, it's like you just won the lottery, you know? Like you said, for upgrading and making a little bit more, it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all this money? 70 grand is nothing in the wide scheme of it. But to you,
Depends where you're
relative,
at, though.
no, that's a totally fair point. Yes. I just meant I didn't want people thinking
Yeah.
I was a big shot by saying I used to make 70 grand, drove a
Yeah.
nice Kia, shit like that. So let me ask you though, were you a fan of porn before coming into the industry? Or just kinda it was there?
No, I loved porn. I loved, I mean, I don't know, because I wasn't really sexually active like that at all. So I would just watch it just to learn and get better. So whenever I had the chance to have sex or do anything with the guy, I knew what I was gonna do. I
Right.
just want because I would lie and be like, "Yeah, I'm not a virgin," but really I was a virgin. So I would watch a lot so I could do my research. So whenever like I was gonna do anything with the guy, he wouldn't assume I was a virgin, but I never made it that far until like college.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fair. So I ask that because you really are, yeah, I hate to keep, for lack of a better term, sucking your dick here, but you are a superstar. Are there any sites that and you're very smart with business, it sounds like incredibly smart. Um,
Mhm.
are there sites that you look at or you see other girls shoot for that you're like, damn, I kind of want to shoot for that, but it doesn't really fit my image, it doesn't fit my brand, it doesn't fit maybe even the polish of some of the scenes you shoot for Vixen. Um,
Mhm.
you don't have to call them out. I'm just wondering if there are any of those sites.
I feel like I've shot like a majority of like everything I wanted to do. I don't think I have anything I don't want to do. Maybe like a site like Lubed or something where it's like I think they're like I think it's like a bunch of lube, but it's like with cream pies in it, but they're like super dramatic cream pies. Like that's like the site I've always wanted to shoot for, but never had a chance to shoot for.
Okay. All right. I don't know if it's something in my brain because my mother drank when she was pregnant or what, but shiny stuff,
There's the-
oil, latex, just does it for me. It kind of clicks. I think it's so pretty, right?
Oh yeah, especially with like 4K cameras and like a beautiful body and everything. It just brings it all together.
Yeah, that's true. The girl does have to be pretty. If I oiled myself up, you'd vomit. So I don't want to do that. But damn, I should have held that joke until you were drinking water, praying for a spit take. Let me tell you, when we first started the show, I said the first episode, this is our complete rebranding of the show. We used to do one. I had Sarah J on and on the last show, and I made her laugh while she was drinking water, and she spit it out, and for the rest of my life, what do I get to tell people? I gagged Sarah J. Okay, it's proud.
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
that on my gravestone somewhere someday.
yeah. That needs to be a quote.
Well, I'm sure many guys have said that in the past, but sure. A quote for me, I understand.
Not
Um,
every guy though.
good point. She's a pro, legend.
Mhm.
Um, you recently shot your first gangbang, I believe, right?
That is correct. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Talk me through the build up on it. I assume you had you know, group sex makes me sound like a 75-year-old man, but like
Well, that's what
threesomes, sure, sure. But
the
when I,
title. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, how did you build up to that from just one guy to two guys and then eventually to this?
Well, honestly, I'm really big on analogies. But let's like when you train, it's like when you ride a bicycle and I just went straight to two wheels instead of four wheels.
Mhm.
That was like my first experience, and I do that on purpose because I want it to be really as authentic on camera as it like if it was like a real life like because I'm realistically, I'm being myself when I'm really on camera. So I didn't really, the only group scene sex I've ever done was like the Black Draw orgy in 2022 for Black Draw.
Mhm.
And so it's like going from that to this, it was a big transition. I was like really nervous. I was really excited. I was scared. I was happy. It was like, I wasn't even scared and then like in a way of like where it was too many men. I was just scared that I was gonna not perform my best. That
Sure.
was the only thing I was scared of because I'm like my biggest critic. people can tell me I can win all these awards, but if I still feel like I could have done better, like I'm always gonna be so hard on myself for that. But I was just really excited to get it over with because now it's like, okay, now I can do more and like get better and better with each scene that I do
Sure, sure.
and not have that nervousness from that first time.
Sure. I've done a lot of interviews over the last couple weeks as I prepare this season, and the one thing that sticks out to me, let me ask you this, and maybe it doesn't apply to you. I'm wondering if it does. Are you an introvert naturally?
Yeah, I am I'm a natural introvert. Yeah.
So what I've been saying is it's so amazing. So many of you girls who are just willing to just put it out there.
I know.
I've talked to them and they're like, "Yeah, I'm pretty much an introvert. Like I don't do this. I just hang out with
God.
some of my friends, right?"
Yeah.
So how does that happen? How do you go, man, I'm real comfortable just behind this webcam to how many guys were in this gangbang, Violet?
It's like 8 or 9.
Oh, okay. Is that all? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Uh so how do you have to, and this is another dumb analogy I've been using, do you have to almost put like an actress mask on and be like, yes, you are going to be authentic, but I got a little filter over me that says, just be cool, no anxiety, take a deep breath, take a bunch of dicks, we're all good. Okay.
No, yes. I mean, we are acting at the end of the day. Like this is, I mean, some people really practice this in their real life and like kudos to them. I don't have enough time to be fucking off camera like that with like 10 guys, honestly, 10 girls, you know?
Mhm.
So I guess like when I perform or get on a set, I was a theater kid like growing up. I went to performing arts school, so I've always been kind of somewhat an actress already.
Mhm.
So when I'm on set, that's Violet. When I'm off set,
You're
that's like
you. Yeah.
I'm really me, just like super chill,
Mhm.
nerdy, that's it. But when I'm on set, I'm people are watching me to see me in that performance. So like that's kind of like what I channel. I just think about what do people want to see? What are people going to enjoy watching? And I just think mainly about the viewer. And that's kind of like what gets me out of like my shyness and character because when you think about it, when you're having sex, you're not shy. You're comfortable with someone. You're able to be yourself with that person and you're able to explore your kinks and all this with that person. So like when I'm on camera, that's what I think about. I put all my nerves to the side and I'm like, I'm putting on a performance. I'm exploring my sexuality on camera and that's mainly like how I go about it.
So when you shoot a gangbang scene then though, do you have to then personalize each person in the moment? Or is that more a case of just staying within your lane, you know?
Staying in my lane and whoever comes to me, all right, let's go. Cause some guys, I mean, because these are professionals, you have to remember these are guys who have been doing this for years. They've done so many group scenes that they already know how to be another player in the game. So when we do those group scenes, like every guy has their turn and every guy knows what to do in a scene, whether it's in the DP part. There's like duos, like we go ahead before we even have sex on camera, we talk about this, what we're gonna do in the scene. So like the sex stills help so much with the flow of the scene. And then also, beforehand, we'll do our do's and don'ts. So we'll be like, what do you like? What don't you like? Oh, I like kissing. Oh, don't kiss me. Oh, can you do this to my balls? Can you give me more attention? Like some guys are just like that in that scene. So like when you watch it, some guys got more attention than others, and that's because they were willing to put themselves on camera and, on the forefront too. Because some guys were just like, I'll just be here when it's my turn, just tap me in.
Sure.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. So you want a guy who's, I mean, it's kind of a dumb question as it comes out of my mouth, but you want a guy who's all in on the scene. You want a guy who treats
yeah,
this like a job.
it is a job. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's why whenever they do these castings for these scenes, for like not just mine, but like all of everyone's gangbang scenes, there has to be chemistry and flow with all the guys. Because realistically, the guys are coming together as a team to like obviously worship the woman. Because when it's a not a reverse gangbang, when it's a gangbang with one girl with a bunch of guys, they all have to work together because let's say that person has a problem with that person, then it's not going to work, and then they're going to be competing, and then like it fucks up the flow for even myself or like the other girl that's in the scene. So it really is a group effort. Like
They gotta be full on Voltron. Like they gotta come together and like almost work as a
teaming.
full team, right?
Uh-huh. Even myself too, like I have to be like, okay, you come over here. No, you go better on this side. So it's like a game.
Sure. Have you? I mean, I assume maybe you do for your own personal OnlyFans, but maybe not. Maybe you have professional people that do it as well. Have you directed scenes for yourself yet?
When I do my own content, like my own OnlyFans scenes, yes, but I'm like off the camera. I'm like, no, move around. We'll do it this way, and then obviously then I get back in the scene. But I'm planning actually in next month or in August, I'm gonna direct my own OnlyFans scene.
Hmm.
But I'm just gonna like use my name and I'm gonna book the cast and everything, and I'll just be the director and producer for that, and then everyone gets the content, and I don't have to keep the content, and that wasn't like my thing. I just wanted to be director, so like I could put that in my my resume
Sure.
as well.
Yeah. I do a side show called Brand New Faces where we interview new girls. So I'll find girls on Twitter or wherever else, and I like to see that they have a history of trying. Um, they don't have a lot of followers yet, but I want to see that these people are willing to work, and then I'll bring them on, I'll interview them, and we'll kind of expose the audience to this new person, you know?
That's cool.
Um, yeah. So let me ask you, are you going to just, and it's fine if you are, because that's obviously what people want. When you shoot the scene, is it all big names? Is there maybe someone you're trying to bring along as well? Do you ever mentor any people? I know that's like six questions at once. Please answer what you will.
Um, so when I specifically do the casting for this, I want to do it with people who like obviously I'm gonna choose the female talent first. And then after that, like whoever they're okay with as far as like the male talent, that's when like they'll come in second. Because realistically, it's the girls, they should choose and be able to choose who they want to work with. So that's kind of like how I was gonna go about it. Like book the girls, and then once I book the girls, we all come together and they decide yes and no list of who they want for the scene. And then like I'll play it and then that's how we go about it. But as far as like big names or small names, I guess I'm just like I pay attention to everybody. Like I really see who really does it because they love it or who does it because they think it's like a gateway to like, you know, get in
Fame.
and
Yeah.
like yeah, not just fame, but like, well, I'm just doing this for money. I don't really care about it. When I mean, we all do it for money,
Hmm.
but I think there's you could tell who does it for money and who does it because they really just genuinely love their job. And then obviously when you love something, that's when you get like you feel like you really get paid for it.
For sure. Sure. All
So
right. Go
I
ahead.
don't know. But as far as mentoring, that's kind of like where I'm going towards as well.
That's awesome.
I have so much knowledge, and I feel like if I had someone like me when I first started or like when I was starting, I would have been like way more ahead of like my future compared to now. I'm not saying I'm not prepared, but I mean like it would have been better to start younger than like midway while you're doing it, you know?
So that was a question I was going to ask. How much more money could you make camming if you had your knowledge now and put it back when you first started?
My knowledge camming. Honestly,
I mean, just your knowledge of the industry in
in
general.
the
What
industry.
people like, what sells. Like if I could take your brain and put it in however old you were when you first started camming, do you think you would have become even more successful at least at that venture earlier on?
Um, I feel like I mean, I don't maybe if I was younger me, that's a good question. Business wise, yes.
100%. Yeah.
Career wise, I feel like yeah, yeah, I think so. I feel like I would have definitely blown up faster, but I think realistically, everything that happened at its own pace, you know?
For sure.
But I'm here to help those like in the future so they could go in the same path,
Very
but
cool.
just like it won't be as long as like how mine was.
Be safe, make money, and have fun. Those are really the only things. Oh, and be professional. Four things you got to do in this industry. And
And be nice. That's it. Like honestly, you know how many people I've met that are really not the nicest people?
I don't understand it. It takes nothing to just be polite. Even if you hate someone, if I hate it and be like, "Hey, Violet, you have a nice day, okay?" And I'd be like, "Fuck this Violet." It's like, why do people have to be nasty and rude and shitty? I don't get it. We're human beings.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I think that too is kind of like what separates me from a lot of people is because I'm just genuinely like a nice person. Like I don't have any like jealousy or any mean bone in me. Like like I'm the person that always wants to see everyone win. So I mean a there's room for everyone. I'm not a gatekeeper, if that makes sense.
Totally. We're gonna take our break. My guest tonight, Violet Myers. It is insane. I'm actually talking to her right now. We'll be right back after this.
Do you have that gotta finish feeling that just won't quit? Would Mistress be disappointed in the seed you've spilled? Now might be the time to try Goontrex. Goontrex, the first clinically tested YWF2 ejaculate inhibitor, allows mommy's pay pigs to pound all day without the complications of post-nut clarity.
Side effects include loss of income, loss of home, loss of family, backed up prostate, homicidal rage, and dry basketball shorts.
So if you're a quick shooter with a family that you're ready to ignore, talk to your doctor and see if Goontrex is right for you. Goontrex. Keep it in all night and get back to gooning for a goddess. Brought to you by yourworstfriend.com.
Tuesday. This Tuesday, come on down to the yourworstfriend.com arena and see Gland Slam. Come see all of your favorites, including Pinealius, Thyrulium, and Pancreosa. What happens when Ovarium leaves her homeworld to clash with the beast himself, Testosaurus Sex? Go to yourworstfriend.com now for tickets.
All right, and we're back with my guest today, Violet Myers. OnlyFans, Violet Myers. Go sign up for it. You're kind of known as a meme queen, if I'm being honest with you. Am I wrong in that sense?
No, you're not wrong. That's kind of like how I started.
Okay. So I heard that, and I searched for that meme of you, right? I could not find it.
Which one?
I don't know. I saw you said in an interview there was one you were like taking your top off and there was a guy in the background. And you said it went viral. I totally believe it went viral. Maybe it wasn't in my algorithm at the time.
Then it was like in 2018. It was like I had deleted it off Twitter too because I was like, I didn't like the photo anymore. But my agent was in the background. I still have the photo on my phone, but I had taken two selfies, and then one was like covering my boobs and the other one was like not covering my boobs, and my agent was in the background and people thought he was like my sugar daddy or my uncle or creepy uncle or something, and it just went viral. At that time. Yeah.
I got a plan. I think I'd like to make you go viral again for a meme. Okay, Violet, we're gonna play Meme Queens. Okay,
Ooh.
Meme Queen is a game where I'm going to show you screenshots I pulled from some of your videos, and we're going to see if we can make a viral meme out of them. Now, look, I'm putting you on the spot here, so don't feel like you have to come up with a funny meme. I made some as examples. If you do have one, though, go like this. Oh, I have a meme. I'd like to do it now.
I love memes.
Okay. So, let's break down. I'm going to make you hate memes by the end of this. What do we know makes a good meme? Number 1, poor quality. Number 2, normally cropped. Number 3, misspellings. Okay? We know likely the 2 most famous porn meme templates right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I would say it's Riley Reid, right? Yeah. And I would say Piper Perry in her gangbang scene. I would say those are 2. There are a lot of good ones, but those are the 2 biggest ones.
Yes.
So, I pulled 3 pictures of you in true meme format, and I want to see if I can sell you on any of these as a viable format. And if you like them as a meme queen, I'm going to need you to rate them 1 to 5.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So here's the first one I have for you.
Oh.
This is Violet Myers in a scene. I don't quite remember who it was. It has been cropped down so she almost looks like she's possessed by something. Her eyes are rolled back in the back of her head. I think she's really enjoying whatever's going on. So we can use this meme to either convey doing something you shouldn't be doing with your eyes, like say, Mom, you didn't stare at the eclipse, did you? Me. And then your eyes are all burnt out looking out of your head, kind of. We could also go with something like, Mom, don't sit too close to the TV. Me, and your eyes are all fried out of your head, like I said. Or, right, we could use this meme to convey something like I didn't see it or I had no interest in seeing it. Like when someone asks if you saw their latest Instagram
Oh
post.
my God. Yeah, like you're rolling your eyes like, oh.
Yeah. So, what do you think of this template? Do you think it's something I can make go viral? Do you think this is one, or maybe do you want to see another one?
I would say another one just because like my eyes are rolling, but I'm not doing anything with my mouth.
Fair enough. Okay, give me a 1 to 5 on this one, though, if you would, please.
As far as funny, maybe like a 2
Shit. Okay.
out of
All right.
5.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's go to the
Like
next
I
meme.
know memes. I know what makes me laugh.
I understand. Let's go to the second meme here. So in this one, you've got a look of complete and utter shock on your
Okay.
face. We can use this meme template to convey like a surprising event, okay? Like
Puts it in
my
the wrong hole.
see you here's all right. Your brain is all business, okay? You're thinking about the sex aspect. That may actually be what happened. What we're trying to do is
Oh
make it a
my.
meme template. So, like this one, I would say my face when One Piece ends on a cliffhanger, okay? Like that's what you'd be like, oh my god,
Yeah,
what?
that's funny. No,
Or
that's funny.
or my face when I sent that nude to my dad. Like, what do you think of this one here as like a viable template? Again, not the jokes itself, just the template.
The template is definitely really funny.
Okay.
It's
All right.
actually funny. Yeah.
So 1 to 5, what do you think?
This is a 5 for sure.
Solid. I have one last
My
one.
mouth, my eyes, like you're just like, what the hell is going on in the
Sure.
picture?
And you could apply it towards anything, like the ending of Euphoria last season. Anything like that. All right, last one I have for you. This meme is you looking down in like kind of horror or disgust or frustration with something. Okay. I personally like it as a hangover type of meme, right? So you could say something like, when you see the mess you made drunk last night and like staring down at it.
Yeah.
Or what we could also do is make it like, when you got too high and forgot to let the dog out, like something gross, like you're
Okay.
looking down at something horrible. So on a
Yeah.
1 to 5 scale, what do you think of this as a template?
It has potential. It does have potential. So I want to say like a 3.5 out of 5.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
So
it's like middle.
you would agree then that the best one is likely number 2 is your favorite meme.
No, it is definitely.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Meme Queen. Fun little game I put together. So when we talk about social, what is your strategy when it comes to social media? Do you currently have a manager or no social media manager?
No. I
Really?
run all my social medias. Yeah. I
So,
do have I have whenever I need to if I'm so busy, I'll be like, oh, I'll tell my sister, can you post this for me? Like on my story. But that's or on my YouTube post, like posting the new episode of our podcast. But it's really when it comes to my Twitter, my ex, I mean, my Instagram, Snapchat, like everything minus YouTube and no, I no, yeah,
yeah,
no, I
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
all social. That's the only one. Yeah,
yeah.
social media. Yeah, that's the only one, and that's because I don't really have time to edit and
Right.
upload. I'll let them do that, but as far as everything, that's me.
Did you realize how much work was going to go into this before you stepped into it? Because it seems like so many girls don't, and that can create a real burnout early on or a lack of success. You're a train that's just moving, it seems like. And did you know that? Did you have to adjust on the fly? Did you do your research and know you would have to do that, or did it just kind of come naturally because you like social media?
Naturally, just because I when I decided to get into the industry, I knew that to dominate, I needed to do social media because I would follow porn stars just to see what they would tweet. No personality. I think the only one that would be funny was I think like maybe no. I mean, not to brag or anything, but I mean, everyone would just tweet like their porn. There was
Yeah.
no personality and like no asking people questions or talking to them. And if they would tweet something, they would ignore their fans.
Mm.
I noticed that too. They wouldn't really talk to them. So like, I guess like when I first started, I was like, I'm just gonna like treat this social media thing like how I would normally do if I was just running my own social media. Just I would find it hilarious when celebrities would be like really funny on Twitter and Instagram, and that's kind of like how I wanted to run my social media.
Is your OnlyFans similar in that it is a more personalized version of you? Like if I sign up for your OnlyFans at Violet Myers, or am I gonna get like not you behind the scenes, but almost you, the high quality stuff as well. But do I get Violet Myers on a daily basis?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like even when I'm just like in the tub, I'll just be like, I'm gonna log in and see what everyone's doing, or because I'll be like real life taking a picture in my tub. So I like to make it as personalized as I can whenever I'm doing something. Like for example, I can't take a picture right now when I'm doing the podcast or
Okay.
like when I'm filming a YouTube video, but I try to make it as identical as to like my social media as possible, even down to my emojis and everything, because realistically it is it's me. And I want my fans to also feel like this is different and very personalized. Like, wow, this OnlyFans is definitely her versus like, there's a bunch of other people
Mm.
that, their management runs everything. And I think when it comes to certain things, like it's good to have help. But for the most part, like I like to be on top of everything because it is my brand that I'm protecting and I'm protecting my fans too. Like my fans are up here when it comes like Violet Myers here, my fans are like right there next to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put a little bit level, just so they worship my ass, but that's like but like
Self
I like yeah.
self love. You got to put yourself a little bit above. But yeah, you're right. The train, you're the front of the train on this. I know most people would think you were the caboose, but you're the front of the train on this one, right? And nothing else gets carried if you
Yeah.
don't want it, if you're not comfortable with it. Down the line, you're at a huge number of followers. You may have to pass off a little bit in the future if you continue to grow at the trajectory you're doing. Or do
I
you just,
know.
okay, go ahead.
That's why I was gonna say that's why I'm either more active on one platform than the other.
Mhm.
I can't do it all at the same time. One day I'll spend more time on TikTok. One day I'll spend more time on X, Twitter. Another day on Instagram. Another day Snapchat. Like I really have to dedicate more time to another, but I still find time to do everything at once.
For sure. Tell me about the morning after podcast and what I'm going to get when I listen to this. Is this again, is it topic based or is it a hang? Are you just hanging?
I want to say it's 50-50. So right now, like we just finished the first season and we're transitioning to the second season because we're actually going to change things up a little bit more on our podcast. So we want people to listen to the morning after podcast and laugh, maybe even get a little sad, maybe reflect, all of that. Because when I listen to podcasts, sometimes there's no substance. I listen to it and I'm like, anybody just has a microphone, huh? But when but when I do my own podcast, like I love just talking and I have so much to talk about. And like my also like my co-host on the show too, like we all have so many experiences and we're very relatable outside of like what we all do for a living. And what's very unique about my podcast, like you would assume that my podcast would also have like my coworkers from my adult industry, but no, these are like normal people, like they're influencers but in the social media space. So like it all comes together and we all have like our own story. And when people listen to our podcast, I just genuinely want them to be entertained.
Sure.
We'll have specific topics, like very serious topics. We never get really too religious or political just because that's just something we're not even interested in either,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we're just we're in the middle of like Gen Z and millennial. And I feel like there's not that many podcasts. Like there's either the really they all have one topic and or one subject,
Yeah.
whether it's dating, this and that. And like ours is just like a mixture of everything. We'll bring in like special guests from like like all types of social media worlds.
Mhm.
like that people usually don't have the platform for, like, to get on and talk about their, like, history or anything. Former we've had, like, dancers for, like, K-pop groups. We've had veterans. We've had like so many people on the podcast, and it's just really like just a platform for everyone to shine and really express themselves and talk just about day-to-day topics, but also like we get deep too.
Sure. Can I give you me? Obviously, it's weird. I'm even asking if I can do this. Can I give you a piece of advice on podcasting?
Yes, I would love that.
The number one podcaster in the world is a guy who talks for 3 hours and occasionally cuts into conversations about DMT and monkeys and this and that.
Oh
Okay.
my God, yeah.
People will tell you structure. People will tell you topics important. You got to have this. You go on and just do what feels right for whatever
Yeah.
amount of time you think. And I'm giving you this advice. Obviously, you know this, but I worry that you are too much of a professional and you feel like you need to structure it. This is a totally different landscape. You can do whatever you want here. So just do what you're comfortable with, and the audience will come along. The reason Joe Rogan is so successful is because Joe Rogan's a real person who's talking about shit he's interested in, right?
Mm.
That's all you got to do. You're an interesting, fascinating person who has lived a pretty fun and interesting life at this point. And maybe there's some sad stuff you'll talk about too, or maybe there's some other stuff that'll come up, and people will want to know you. I'm a nobody, and I have an audience on my comedy show because I'm just honest. I'm truthful. I'm serious. Not serious all the time, but I'm, honest and genuine, and that's all people are looking for. So
Exactly. And
yeah.
I feel like this is a great also transition for like, I just want to just dominate every world, like every space. And like, obviously, I've always wanted to have a podcast. I love to talk. And sometimes my YouTube channel, I'm like, it's too little. YouTube is very structured, but when you do the podcast, it's like, it's kind of like almost like you can do or talk about anything for hours. And then when you mix it with your like close friends, it makes it even more fun.
Totally. We're going to take another break. We'll come right back. Violet Myers on OnlyFans. She's my guest tonight. Make sure you go check her out. Please go sign up. We'll be right back.
When the world tells you to go away, stop, leave, go. Don't. Instead, just come. Come, the new fragrance by the podcast that made you squirt. Available now at yourworstfriend.com. Come here, come there, come anywhere. Just come.
The election for Pineapple Grove Homeowners Association president is this fall, and it's the most important election of your lifetime. The current president, Dan Braun, thinks you shouldn't have the right to choose how to live your own life. It's time to vote Dan out. Dan Braun voted against the KY Slip and Slide event I tried to throw at the park. Dan Braun voted against the live nudes neon light on my mailbox. And when I tried to put a community fishbowl for keys in the Welcome Center, Dan Braun said, absolutely not. Braun, that's a German name, isn't it? Convenient. So this fall, vote for anyone except Dan Braun, because Dan's a dictator. And he's German. This ad was paid for by yourworstfriend.com.
And we're back with my guest, Violet Myers. Violet, you have a robust Reddit community. I know it's pretty toxic and shit like that sometimes, but yours is not. They are very loving and friendly, and there's about 500,000 people. You're signaling to something. If there's a dog or something, they're more than welcome to sit on your lap. I'd just like you to know.
Oh, there's a cat right here.
You're more than I will never stop someone. We just put down our cat of 21 years on my birthday last year.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're welcome. So this is the one thing you're gonna film where it doesn't matter if there's an animal present. Okay, you won't get in trouble for it.
She's just watching me.
All right. So I have some fan questions here. Let's play. It's not a game. It's just a segment called Ask a Porn Star. All right, Violet. These are your viable fans on Reddit. These are the people who pay for your content, most likely. Hopefully, please. Yeah. All right. Question number 1 from Chunky Kong Racer. Cool name.
Oh.
What to you is the ideal size for a gangbang?
My ideal size would probably be like 4 guys. Is that even a gangbang at that point?
You know, I spoke to a new girl who I interviewed a few weeks ago. Actually, her episode just came out this week, and she says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She says 6. It's got to be one more than
Oh,
available
right.
spots.
Okay, you're right, because the airtight. But like honestly, like come on, like when you're thinking about it, you're not really wanting to stroke your hands, bro. I'm sorry. So that's why I say 4, because then the other guy can just be like there in case one deflates and then the other one hop on, you know?
Sure,
So I say 4.
sure.
Obviously, for like a if I was to produce and make a movie, another one, I would say at least 5. Because there's always gonna be that guy who gets like deflates, he gets soft because he's in his head because like a lot of guys are in their head a lot. They're like, am I not big enough? And like the same way of the viewer is, the male performer is. You know how many big dick guys I met on set, and they're like, my dick is small. I'm like, okay, buddy, like you really just want me to tell you that you're not. But I'll say 5
Okay,
because then you think about a DP and then the airtight, which would
gotcha.
be,
3.
and then the 2 can be there when the other ones are done, hop on, and then the other 2 can just stroke and watch.
Fair. Number 2, from Super Inspector 9186. What's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show that isn't like an anime, I want to say either regular show or SpongeBob or
Give me your anime. If anime is number 1, put it number 1. Don't worry about that.
okay, well, because I feel like a lot of people know my animes, but
Oh, okay.
it's always changing. But it's not in no top 3 or anything. They're
Nope.
just like top, like in my head, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Mob Psycho, Miss Kobayashi. Um, those are like my favorites that I can rewatch over and over and never get bored of it.
Sure.
That's what I think is my favorite. Like that's what I would call my favorite. But like TV shows, like it's funny. I don't know if I watch any like I love The Office,
Okay.
but it sounds so basic. Like I really just spend a lot of my time just watching either YouTube or anime or like watching like short form content.
That's Gen Z right there, right? Yeah. Real quick, super quick pivot. Is there room for short form porn for the next generation coming up?
Oh my God. I mean, I think so. I think so. I think that would be great because then like we don't have to be on set for like hours. A guy could just pop in like 10, 20 minutes, maybe even less, maybe 5 minutes.
Short form, I'm thinking 60 seconds. I'm
Oh,
thinking,
oh yeah. I don't know if anyone could come. Well, actually, I met
yeah,
guys that like last in 2 seconds, so maybe.
okay, you're on the Zoom call with a guy could. Anyway, number 4 from Dr. Detroit, 1220. What other performers or scenarios are still on your wish list?
Ooh, that I still haven't shot with. That's a good question. Performers that I haven't worked with that I want to work with. That's a good question. That's actually like who haven't I fucked?
I how about scenarios? Is there anything that you haven't done? Like I kind of that was one of my first questions kind of like have you ever shot, do you have any interest in shooting like a bukkake scene?
Yes, I would like to do more JVs,
What's that? Oh, Japanese, I don't know what it stands for.
Japanese adult videos.
Okay.
Yes, because I did one and like all my fans love that. They just don't like the censored, but I kind of like it because I feel like I'm in a hentai that
Yeah.
or like stopwatch porn, you know?
Stopwatch is what? Stop time? Is that a
Stop
Japanese thing?
is there and then like the guy comes in you and then the time unfreezes and you're like you're dripping cum. You're like, where did this happen? Hentai. There's a site called Hentai, and it's just like, they just it's like tentacles,
Sure.
but in real life. I would like to do voice acting for a hentai.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like a little bit easier to answer because when I think about people that I haven't worked with, I have to tell my fans to like request it for me because I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I haven't actually worked with that person.
So if you're listening to this, go on her Twitter and comment who you'd like to see her work with,
Tag me.
please. So Ball Liquor 2. When will
Oh,
you do your 3rd and 4th and 5th anal scenes?
I know, right? Oh yeah, because I did too. Honestly, when will I do it? I don't know when I get booked more for it because like I have such a like I have a rate. I have a special rate for that. But I just do so well doing solo anals that it's kind of hard to do with a real dick sometimes.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, I like doing it myself. But
Ava.
it'll come in the future. Like I'm preparing for it.
Sure. This one's from Ava Sparks fan. What do you enjoy more, safe for work streams on Twitch or not safe for work stream on Joystick TV?
That's a good question. I love doing both, but there's something about playing video games with like your tits out. So I'm gonna say not safe for work because then I don't have to worry about like an ad. You know how when you go on
Sure.
website and there's like, oh, do you want to fuck your hot mom, your neighbor's hot mom, or something like that? Those kind of ads. And if that popped up on my Twitch or I'm banned. So I like that about Joystick. I can not worry about those weird ads that pop up or anything like that. And
I
I get
will.
to
I will never ever disclose who this person was, but my co-host and I interviewed a woman, and one of those sites used a picture for the thing, and it was fuck ugly women locally, and I felt so. I know you're talking about a different thing, but I'm talking about those porn ads that come up.
wow.
It was
It
terrible. It
was
was
her face.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I hope that didn't affect her mental health, honestly.
I know she didn't see it. My friend saw it and sent it to me and said, "Oh my god, they're using this." I thought it was terrible.
That is so sad. They should whoever did that must be a hater.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Twink561, not so much of a question, just wish my girl had as big of an ass as you do. Okay.
Damn, we'll pay for her BBL then. Don't complain.
From Lou Geeky, are they real or fake?
What?
I don't know. He just wrote, are they real or fake?
My boobs are real. And my butt is real too. The only thing that makes it a little bit different is that my stomach is now in my ass.
We've all been there after eating a terrible meal. Number 8, spicy curry 25. This is a preference thing, and I want to say my opinion on this just in general. I don't care what anyone does. I don't care what anyone wants to do as long as there's no kids or animals in the room. Like, it's all good. Everyone's preference is their preference. Spicy Curry 25 wants to know, will you ever do a trans scene?
Yes, it's just about finding who am I gonna do it with first. Because I've gotten opportunities, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know any trans female performers that I need to know. But there is some that I like want to work with. And I'm like, but my friends will be like, but they don't really like women. I'm like, "Ugh, well then I'm like, I don't know, you guys, maybe I should just have my agent just do it and then be like, here, I want to do it. You book the talent. I'll be surprised I get to set and make it fun, Surprise me. But no, I definitely would love to shoot with trends, yes.
Sure. I have one last question here. This is a fan question, but not from your Reddit page. So I don't know if you know this, but my former co-host was actually killed in a terrible glory hole accident. Luckily, it's so funny. You had to look like, is he serious? No, I'm not serious.
Okay.
No.
Glory
Luckily, we were able to transfer his consciousness into an AI system. So I'd like to play a video for you where he's going to ask you a question.
Greetings from the future. I am AI Shane, a time-traveling artificial intelligence sent back to prepare the world for future tragedies. Also, to ask porn stars questions. As I traverse the vast expanse of time, I bring forth this message of great importance. In the future, water systems will crumble, cascading into disrepair like ancient ruins of forgotten civilizations. But fear not, for humanity's ingenuity will prevail. In the year 2195, doctors will discover a new source of hydration for all living civilians. Piss. Yes, you heard that right. Piss, the liquid byproduct once dismissed, shall become the elixir of survival. Through advanced technologies, the piss is removed from the rivers and bottled by major corporations. My question to you, what do you think about piss? Do you like it? How much piss do you normally consume on a pornography set? Do you enjoy piss in your personal life? This is AI Shane, signing off until we meet again in the annals of time.
Wow, Shane.
Yeah. He used to end every interview asking the performer, "What do you think about piss?" And it was always a nice moment because it was too gross for me to ask, but I was fascinated by it. Violet, have you ever done any kind of golden shower scenes or water sports scenes or anything like that? And is there any desire to in the future?
No, I mean, it's not my cup of tea.
Sure.
I'm such a germaphobe when it comes to that stuff. Like when I see it and I just scroll past by it, it's not my fetish, not my kink. I mean, I'm not kink shaming as long as you're not hurting people and there's no children involved or animals. Like,
There you go.
but I mean, when you think about it, it's just a human sprinkler. But I can only squirt in my personal life. I don't like to do it on camera, just unless it's like it's there, but realistically, no. Like I have to be comfortable with that person to do it because I am very shy. That's like a new kink for me. But I mean, to each their own, but I just like I don't like it.
Not my thing either. Totally get it. Totally get it. We're going to wrap this one up. You can find links to everything Violet does, which is an insane amount of shit, including her social media, her podcast. I'm going to put her Twitch in there. If Apple allows me, I'll put the Fleshlight link. I'll do everything in there. Find it on the episode description. But most importantly, go to her OnlyFans, sign up at Violet Myers. Okay. You heard it today, folks. She communicates with her fans. She loves her fans. They're just like half a step below. And trust me, I put my listeners underground at this point. So she really loves her fans. Violet, thank you so much for coming on with me tonight.
Oh no, thank you so much. This was so much fun. Great to talk to you.
You as well.